This is the Aviat Murli of the 10th of December 2023. Original date the 23rd of February 1997. Keep your companion with you and be seated on the throne of a detached observer and remain happy. Today, Baba, the world benefactor, is happy to see the children from all over the world. Lines of love and cooperation are visible on the faces of all the children. Bap-Dada is hearing the song My Baba emerging from the heart of each one. In response, Bap-Dada says, "Oh, my extremely dear and beloved children. Each child is very dear and very much loved. Why? You are the few out of multi-millions, and the handful out of the few. That makes you beloved, does it not?" Bap-Dada is happy to see his beloved children. He constantly sees the children dancing in happiness and wishes to see them dancing constantly. Sara. You do remain happy, but the Father wishes to see you in this state constantly. Do you remain constantly happy, or does your happiness fluctuate? Is it that sometimes you have a lot of happiness and sometimes a little less, and sometimes very little? Bap-Dada also told you earlier, at present you children have to serve the world in such a way that with your face, with your eyes, and with a few words, you are able to remove the sorrow of every soul and give them happiness. As soon as they see you, they should become happy. This is why you need to constantly have a happy face and be an image of happiness. Because the happiness in someone's mind is clearly revealed on the face. Even if a wandering, distressed soul who is experiencing sorrow comes in front of you, even if he considers it impossible to be happy, as soon as he comes in front of you, your image, your attitude and your vision should transform that soul. Today, people spend so much money in order to make their minds happy, and so many new facilities are created for their entertainment. Their facilities are temporary, whereas you are making true spiritual endeavour for all time. The Hindi for facilities being sadham, and true spiritual endeavour sadhana. So let your spiritual endeavour transform those souls. They may have distress when they come to you, hi, but they should be singing praise when they leave, wah, wah. Wah is the wonder of the souls who belong to God. From time to time, as souls become distressed, in spite of their temporary facilities, at such times your happiness will become their support, because you are the ones who have the fortune of happiness. Do you have the fortune of happiness or not? You are not incomplete in this, are you? You are those who have the fortune of happiness. No other souls throughout the entire cycle have the fortune of happiness that you have. Is there anyone else? You have to give others the experience of such great intoxication through your face and behaviour. Are you able to do this? or are you already doing it? If you have not experienced happiness in Brahmin life, what have you achieved by becoming a Brahmin? Brahmin life means a life of happiness. Sometimes Bapdada sees the faces of some children are slightly ... What happens then? All of you know very well what happens, and this is why you are laughing. Seeing such faces, Bapdada feels mercy and is also a little amazed. My children, and yet they are unhappy. Is this possible? It is not. To be unhappy means to be a servant of Maya. However, you are master conquerors of Maya. What is Maya compared to you? It is not even an ant. It is a dead ant. From a distance it seems to be alive, but it is in fact dead. You simply need to have the power to discern from a distance. Just as you have the knowledge of the Father in great detail, in the same way, you must imbibe the knowledge of the various forms of Maya and recognize her. Maya creates fear in you, just like parents create fear in their children in order to make them fearless. They do not do anything but purposely create fear to make them fearless. In the same way, Maya also adopts various forms to make you belong to her. When Maya adopts any of her various forms, you also need to become those with various forms and recognize her. What games do you play when you're not able to recognize her? You start battling and think, "Oh dear, Maya has come." Then, when you battle, your mind and intellect become tired. Out of tiredness, what do you then say? Maya is very powerful. It is not Maya, but what is it? It is nothing but your weakness becoming different forms of Maya. Bapdada constantly wishes to see every child having the intoxication of the fortune of happiness, of constantly having a happy face, of remaining happy with the nourishment of happiness and full of the treasures of happiness. What does one need in life? Nourishment and treasures. What else does one need? Therefore, do you have the nourishment of happiness, or does the stock of your treasures finish? Your treasures of happiness are limitless. They are limitless, are they not? The more you spend, the more they increase. Even if you do not make any effort, simply keep this aim. No matter what happens, whether it is through the state of my own mind, through other souls, or through the elements or atmosphere, I must not let go of my happiness. This effort is easy, is it not? Or does your happiness slip away? Is it easy, or is it sometimes difficult? Keep this determination and forget everything else. Simply make this one aspect firm. I have to remain happy. What will the different situations seem like then? Just like a game. Constantly remain seated on the seat of a detached observer when watching your own games. Even if someone insults you or tries to upset you and bring you down from your self-respect of a detached observer, You should not come down from your throne of a detached observer. Your happiness reduces when you do come down. Bapdada also told you 2 words earlier: companion, sati, and detached observer, sakshi. When Bapdada is with you, your stage of a detached observer is very strong. All of you say that Bapdada is with you. Bapdada is with you. However, you also have some influence of Maya over you when you say Bapdada is with you. Bapdada is with you, but you do not use his companionship at a time of need. You put him aside at that time. When someone is with you or a task comes up, when a situation arises, you do not remember the company you have, but you become engrossed in the situation. You believe that you have this company and you also experience it. Would any of you say that you do not have this company? None of you would say this. All of you say, Baba is with me. None of you say, Baba is with you. Each of you says, Baba is with me, Baba is my companion. He is, or is he not? Do you say this in your mind or with your lips? Do you say this in your mind? Bapdada continues to see the games. Bapdada is sitting with you, and yet you become so engrossed in your own situation, trying to face it, that you don't even realize who is with you. So what does Baba do then? From being the companion, Bapdada becomes the observer and observes your games. Do not do this any more. Since you call him your companion, fulfill the responsibility of a companion. Why do you move away from him? The Father does not like that. The Father has the pure desire that each of you children becomes, and you truly are, a self-sovereign, and thereby one who has a right to world sovereignty. Are all of you part of the subjects? You do not wish to become subjects, do you? You are kings, are you not? You are emperors, the world kings. You are those who create subjects, not those who become subjects. You are those who will become kings, are you not? You are those who will become kings and who will create subjects. So where does a king sit? He sits on a throne, does he not? When someone has the intoxication of being a king, he remains seated on the throne in a practical way. So do not get off your throne of a detached observer. When you make effort for something specific, you get tired. Today you paid attention to your thoughts. Tomorrow you will pay attention to your words or your connections and relationships, etc. You get tired doing this. Simply make the one effort of not coming off your throne of a detached observer. Remain happy-hearted and seated on your throne. If a king is looking very serious while seated on his throne, if he is seated on the throne and yet looking very angry and official, would you like it? You would say that one is not a king. So all of you are constantly seated on your thrones, are you not? Those kings sometimes sit on their thrones and sometimes they do not. But your throne of a detached observer is such that you can be seated on your throne while performing any task. You do not have to get off your throne. You are seated on your throne while sleeping. You are seated on your throne while sitting or standing, and while having contact or a relationship with others. Do you know how to remain seated on your throne or not? Do you slip off your throne? A soul who is seated on the throne of an observer can never become distressed because of some problem. The problems would remain under the throne and you would be seated on the throne. The problems would not be able to raise their heads in front of you. They would remain suppressed underneath. They would not trouble you. When you press hard on something, it finishes by itself. At such a time, Bapdada is amazed. You should not be amazed. You may be amazed at your own self, but do not be amazed at others. Baba is amazed at what his children are doing. They are getting off their thrones. You are seated on your throne now. Only when you instill the sanskars of being seated on your throne now will you be able to sit on a world throne. If you are not constantly seated on your throne here, then there too you will not be able to sit on a throne all the time, that is, for the full period. You have to fill yourself with all these sanskars at this time. Whatever sanskars you have filled yourself with will work in the golden age. You have to fill yourself with the sanskars of royalty at this time. Do not think that some time still remains, that destruction is not going to take place that soon. Do not think in this way, because destruction will take place suddenly. It will not ask first if you are ready. Everything will happen suddenly. How did all of you become Brahmins? You suddenly received the message. You saw an exhibition. You came into contact and relationship, and you transformed yourselves. Did you think that you would become a Brahmin on a particular date? Did you think this? You became Brahmin suddenly, so transformation too will take place suddenly. First of all, Maya makes you very careless. If you think about it, even the year 2000 that you had thought of is almost here. You think, let me just take a little rest. First, Maya will spread her magic and make you careless in some aspect, whether it is service, yoga, dana, or relationships and connections. You will think this happens all the time. This will continue to happen. In this way, Maya will first try to make you careless. Then destruction will suddenly take place. At that time, do not then say that Bapdada did not tell you that it would happen like this. This is why you are being warned in advance not to become careless in any aspect. You have to be alert in all four subjects. Even if something happens right now, stay alert. At that time, do not call out, Bapdada, come and fulfill your responsibility, give me a little power. Baba will not give it at that time. Accumulate it at this time. Whichever power you need to any extent, all of you have full permission to take whatever you want. The treasure store is open. However much power you want, whichever power you want, take that now. The teacher or principal would not help you at the time of exams. Baba is doubly pleased to see the double foreigners. Why is this? Because double foreigners have to make double the effort to transform themselves. This is why when Bap-Dada sees the double foreign children, he is double pleased. Wah, my double foreign children. Double foreigners, raise your hands. There are about 1,000 brothers and sisters from different countries present. Wah, it is very good. You may clap twice. Bap-Dada continually hears and sees news of the service done abroad. As a result, zeal and enthusiasm for service is very good. It is just that you sometimes take the burden of service on yourselves. Do not carry this burden. Give the burden to the Father. This burden is nothing for the Father, whereas by carrying the burden of service yourself you get tired. You do very good service and do not get tired when doing service. At that time your faces are very good. They are worth taking a photograph of. But some of you, not all of you, after doing that service have tired faces. The Father asks, why do you carry the burden? Is it that you like carrying the burden, or is it that you've created that habit? Do not carry the burden. You feel it to be a burden when the Father is not with you. When you think, I did this, I am doing this, I am doing this, then that becomes a burden. If the Father is with you, it is His task, and He is enabling you to do it. There will then be no burden. You will remain light. You will begin to dance. When you dance very well. Look at the dancing of the double foreigners. It is very good. They do not tire themselves out. They dance like angels. When Indians dance, their feet become tired. Even their hands become tired. Foreigners dance very lightly. So in the same way, consider service to be a dance. Consider it to be a game. Do not get tired. Bap-Dada does not like that photo, the one of getting tired. There is good zeal and enthusiasm for service, and the Father also has the result that there is now a very small percentage of coming into fluctuation over little things. The majority is fine. There is a small number that is sometimes seen to be fluctuating a little. But there is a big difference between the result at the beginning and the result now. This can be seen, can it not? You are now continuing to let go of your delicate natures. Bap-Dada is pleased to see this result. Now prepare small mics. There are now small mics, and there will then be even big mics. Bap-Dada remembers that in the beginning the foreign teachers used to say that it was difficult to meet the VIPs, let alone for them to come. It was difficult to even meet them, whereas it has now become easy, because you have become VVVIPs. So what are those VIPs in front of you? On the whole, the result of foreign lands is good. The centres are also doing very well and continuing to expand. In Bharat there aren't so many hands, otherwise many centres would open. Those of each zone say they do not have enough hands. In this year, do the service of creating your own hands. Do not ask for hands. Create your own hands, and in fact donate them to others. donate and perform charity. In the foreign lands they have a very good method. Wherever a centre is opened, the people there do their worldly jobs and also look after the centre. They do not have the problem of how the centre will function or who will look after it. You should not think, why should we do a worldly job? This is a means of your service. You are not doing a worldly job, but are doing that worldly job to become instruments to carry out a spiritual task. Wherever you go, have the enthusiasm to open a centre there. So while you have a worldly job, do not think in this way. You are doing a worldly job for the sake of this spiritual service, and so you are surrendered. There shouldn't be any worldly feelings. When there are spiritual feelings, you are surrendered while doing a worldly job. It is not that you have to give up your worldly job and become an instrument for this spiritual task. And so, for souls who are living in a spiritual environment while doing a worldly job, not just double congratulations, but multi-million congratulations to such souls. Simply do everything as a trustee. Do not have the consciousness of I am doing so much work. Do not have this consciousness of I. Caravan Heart is inspiring me to do it. I am just an instrument and am functioning with the support of the power. Today it is the turn of double foreigners. You also have a lot of happiness on seeing the double foreigners, do you not? So are all of you double foreigners very happy and cheerful? You may clap with your hands. There was the sound of them clapping. Maya does not come in front of you in Madhuban anymore, does she? In a second you can become as bodiless as the Father. Put a full stop in a second. Stabilize yourself in the bodily stage in a second. Bapdada here conducted drill for 3 minutes. Acha, continue to practice this throughout the day, again and again. To all of those who are conquerors of Maya, conquerors of matter, seated on the throne of a detached observer and constantly experiencing the company of the companion, to those who with determination constantly make success the garlands around their necks, to those who remain constantly light, the same as the Father, to those who use their might to liberate the world from any weakness of sorrow and peacelessness for all time, to such master oceans of happiness, oceans of joy, oceans of love, and master oceans of knowledge, to all those who are equal to the Father, love, remembrance and namaste. Blessing. May you be an embodiment of success and achieve success in the service you do with the powers to discern and decide. Those who recognize the Father, themselves, the time, the Brahmin family and their elevated task with the power of discernment and then decide what they want to become and what they have to do, are the ones who constantly achieve success in the service they do, in the things they do, and in their forming connections and relationships with others. The basis of being an embodiment of success in doing service with the mind, words and deeds are the powers to discern and decide. Slogan: become filled with the light and might of this knowledge and yoga, and you will overcome any adverse situation in a second. Om Shanti.